Second class, and we welcome the new classmate. What's your name?
I'm Tian.
Tian.
Yeah.
T-I-E-N?
T-I-A-N.
T-I-A-N. Tian. My name is Peter Lee. Okay, so I'm going to start the class in English. Last class, I talked about, I did a very brief introduction about calligraphy, and I prefer to start teaching calligraphy, Chinese calligraphy in Lishu. For three reasons. Lishu can allow you to practice in the beginning to get used to how to move your brush in the center of the line. And second reason, because Lishu, they have a special structure of the character to allow you to learn how to put the word right in the right position and extend balance. The last but not least, also because they have a special format. When you write the Lishu, they allow you have a certain vertical line or column, got to be straight, but they are close to each other. But on the line, they have more space. So if you have, from the beginning, you already pick up all this good practice. So for long term, allow you to do it in the right way. And then you will not go any extra mile that you don't need to. All right? So, do you have a brush or anything? Okay. All right. Now, last class, I talked about the basic dot in Lishu. There are 9 to 10 different dots that once you practice those 9 dots, and then for future, easy for you to learn the rest of the stroke. Why? Because those 9 or 10 dots is a basic foundation that they can apply to many other characters. Now, I like to using a big brush and doing a demonstration on the wall to allow everyone can see how the movement or the brush, how the brush moves. Now, I repeat a little bit quickly. The last class I'm talking about, the first one is the right dot. Right dot, they have no angle or degree, just very center, right dot. Go up, down, and then move back up, round like this. So this is the right dot. And the second one, we have the vertical dot. We always move a little bit up because we don't want to point it, and then we come back down with the round start, and then move down a bit longer, and then move up, circle back up. So you can see the top, the start, and the end, they all rounded. This is all rounded. Then I have a horizon dot. Horizon dot also the same thing. From if you want to move from the left to the right, you have to start with from the right first, and then move back, go this way, and then return. Let me do it bigger, so the big brush. Go this way and come down, come back, reverse, and then you return. So all rounded, no pointed. Another curved horizon dot. This one is very tough one, and the angle got to be right. So you start with almost like dot, like pointed, but press down hardly, and then lift up the whole brush, circle a little bit, allow all the hair right into the right direction, and then you move from the left to the right with a little bit of curve. When you move slowly, lift up your brush or your hand from left to right, and return a little bit. See? In the beginning, it's very full, but ended with still round, but not pointed. The bottom is horizon. The top part is a bit curved. This makes it unique, called the curved horizon. Another one, This is a horizon dot, similar to this. Both horizon, but they have an angle. This one an angle. Then now we have the diagonal dot to the left. Diagonal dot to the left, or you call the kick dot. This one, unlike all this, they are a bit pointed, start with pointing, press lightly, then press down, then move upward from left, bottom left to top right, almost like triangle. Now you have another one they call the check, or the check dot, from left to right. This one from left to right, but from the top bottom, top down, opposite of this. Lightly come down, press down, and then you move from the left to the right. Point it. Don't have enough liquid. Okay, let's do it again. Lightly start, move from left, top left, down to the bottom right, and then move from left to right, like this way. So this is similar. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, a couple more. The other one is short dot with the round a little bit. This one. Lightly press down. Lightly press down. Turn, press down, and turn a little bit. But when you turn, you have to round up here. You don't want to point it. So this is called the short dot. Then I have another 3 of them that I mentioned in the last section of the whole class. You have this one from the top right down to the bottom left. Okay, so this is where we are going to have that. I'm going to show you. Now, when you put together all this, then you will see how it works. Let me say, 永志, forever, the one they have so many. This one is called the curve dot. Move in this way. Okay? Now, this is a short horizontal stroke. Then we come down. And then this is another stroke that I haven't touched yet. But I want you to see how it applies to all the individual characters. See, this one is curve dot. Now I'm going to apply the kick dot, the check dot, and then the right dot and the vertical dot in one word. This one is 0, 5, 没有那个5. Okay. 一个。One. This is all the vertical, so I'm not talking about that. Now come to the point, the dot. I want everyone to see. The first one is the check dot. From the bottom left, make sure the angle is right. Bottom left, lightly start and press down. Move upward to the top right. 1. And this dot is the right dot. right dot will come down, round it up, and then the vertical dot. I tell you why we have to make it all 4 different. And then you go this one, the bottom one. Okay? See? 4 dot. You make it different. You don't want to make 4 right dot just like that. It's so boring and no art, no 美观. It's not nice. All right. So this is how the last one we talk about this one. Then I will stop with today's class. 永远 far away. Let me try to see if Bruce can see and can video. And I would like to say thank you for Bruce. Try to make a video for everyone. Now, look at the dot that I'm talking about this. You can go this way. 1, 2, 3, all dot that come down to the bottom, and now we go to this stroke. Okay, but the same thing, the 3 dot, you can use the curved dot, the horizontal dot, and the diagonal dot to make the same one. Let me give you another example. Now, look at the difference. Here's the first curved dot, move. See? Similar to this. Now, the horizontal dot. Horizontal dot. Now, a little bit diagonal, but they are similar to the horizon, but on an angle. Now, come to this part. See the difference? Still okay to do that. All right? Rosanna, any question? Bruce, everything okay? Okay. Now this is the review of last class. Before I go to the next topic, every week I try to share with everyone some information. In Chinese calligraphy, I want to ask a question. How can you tell this is a good work, a good finishing, or no? Even though a lot of people have been practicing in Chinese calligraphy for years, they might not know what is good or bad. I'm not talking down on people in reality. Sometimes, including myself, if I don't read a lot of books, I don't study, I will not learn. Because Chinese calligraphy is made out of basically 5 rules from 5 rules. One, we all know by the shape, like the moon. On the old day, they really drawing a moon. Of the bird, they draw the bird. Water, they draw like water running. So that is called the shape. The other one is called by sound, like ping pong. Okay? Or some by the sound of the wind. So they also make the sound. One is mean by meaning. For example, north, they have 背对背. One north and south, the opposite. Another one is made by a combination of 2 words. For example, 2 words, character of wood, become a forest. 2个木就是森林的林。Yes。没問題。係，你點稱呼啊？
我 Judy。
係 Judy，你好。
你好。
隨便坐先，係嗰度坐又得，呢度坐又得，冇問題。 嗰度係另一個同學嗰啲，你坐得冇所謂，你坐邊啊？坐嗰度啦，坐嗰度啦，坐嗰度啦。Okay, welcome Judy. So another one is also a combination, but from top to bottom. So why I say all that? Because they all made by the shape. So that means all the character itself, the rule of thumb first, you have to make sure that this one, can they stand alone by itself without falling apart? When I say you stand alone, mean when I stand, 2 legs on my shoulder width, stick like that, I'm stand very well. I cannot fall apart. But if I stand with 1 leg, I'm still okay as long as I'm in the center. But if I lift up 1 angle, like this, if I without the leg go up, I will fall down because the center supporting point is not there anymore. Chinese calligraphy, the same thing. Hello, come on in. 你的朋友。
他不会讲中文。
Oh, English.
English.
Okay, welcome. What's your name?
My name is Tiro.
Philip.
Tiro.
Philip.
Yeah.
Okay. We are gonna write down the name later. Okay.
Yeah, sorry about
Have a
that.
seat. Welcome to the class. Okay, we have a full class now. So when we're doing something like that, so we want to make it balanced. For example, one word is very famous that most of the class that I like to use is the sky. Here, the sky is very basic, easy to do. The stroke, one horizontal stroke on the top, and the second one. Now, I will stop right here. I will let you to see. Now, you will see everything is go a little bit diagonal from the left upward to the right. Am I right? Now, without putting this leg down, this one is similar, they're leaning to that way. Right? So, if you're putting the leg down in the right angle, to make the whole character balancing. For example, I put down this way. It's balanced. The balance will come from here. But if you put this leg wrong way, I put it this way. It seems like you have one leg, it's not holding the balance here. Or if you lift this leg a bit too wide, it's spread out, it's not stand well. So this is the trick of the balancing, how to make the work look good. How you judge a work is good. Another one is called combination, left to the right. I always use the example. Forest, 森林两个木. You have to know the left hand side is always shorter or smaller than the right hand side. And I always using anyone doing ballroom dance, 国标舞. When you're doing a ballroom dance, you like to have a woman a bit shorter than the man. So it will look good when you do the movement. The same thing. If you suddenly have the woman's side taller and bigger than the right hand side, the man, and it's not going to look good, it's not going to look balanced. It's not nice. This is a combination. However, of course, there's an exception. Exception because the character itself was created in a lengthy way, long way. Another one, combination with the one is very short and flat. Which one am I talking about? Fat, 肥，肥胖的肥。这边是一个玉字，或者你可以叫做是月。这边一个八。这样子的话 ，this is exception, just like English, A-E-I-O-U. When you have international or update, you will not say a update, you will say and update. So this is exception. So because the moon itself, character itself, the structure, the design, original born lengthy, but she like to marry with a short guy. So that's how it would work. But how you going to make this one look nice? You don't put the guy on the top of this one. You don't do it this way. Or you don't do it on the bottom this way. It's not balanced. You have so much empty and it's not holding. So you have to put this right hand side right in almost like in the center of this one. So make it balanced so like a triangle, then it can spin. This is another rule of thumb. One is called step up. Step up like something. 那个爪啊鼻子的鼻。你看，一写的时候，上面的头是小剩大，上面这个是一个裙子，平衡。这个呢，就是我们 meaning when we have a person, for example, Mr. Ho stand up, you can see Mr. Ho tall, but he will not have the leg too long, too tall. You cannot pull it down too long, because it's the standard. That's a rule of thumb. The perfect model we call the nine-head body. Because they have a long leg to make the body look good. The same thing with this. If you put the nose, for example, the top part very big, bottom one is very small. This guy must be thick, the head big in the head, so big. It's no good. This is another rule called the stack up. You got to balance. Okay. So now, the last one. Everyone know everything got to be centered. Like I said, you got to be stand by itself. 你写一个人字 The balance is here. Let me put another piece of paper. Now look it. Like single character is easy for us to talk about balance. However, if we have a combination of a character, so how can you balance them? You cannot balance them. So what can you do? That's what I try to explain to everyone. If they are combination, they still talking about the balance, but the balance is on each side. Now, this is another one. It's called, using the same simple word so everyone can see it. Two character wood put together. Now, when you see, even though the left-hand side is smaller, shorter than the right-hand side, however, each individual, it can stand by itself. They're still on the center, right? The same thing with this side. Got to be centered. If you make it different, they are not centered, then it's not going to look good. That means each one stand by itself got to be well stable, then to make a perfect shape of the work. So when you look at a finished product, for example, this is something that I wrote for the Chinese calligraphy. Chinese New Year, the year of pig. Left hand side, right hand side, they well balanced. How can I tell the well balanced? I will explain to you. But on the right hand side, the left hand side, the vertical stroke got to stand by itself to hold it. The same thing with the right hand side. The top vertical stroke, you come down, the whole left hand side stand by itself. So that's why I say got to be balanced. Keep in mind, when you want to do the character in the right way and good, you need to make sure that they balance, they can stand by itself. For example, 永字中间两边的空位都是搭配，差不多。So now I move to another topic. This one, vertical. On this side, the width, the space on both ends very similar. So make it balanced. Make sense? Now, the last but not least, you need to know all the space of each stroke got to be even. For example, let me using this one. Now look. Oh, this one is very good to use for example. The reason is 三个空位 all got to be similar. I'm not 100% say a perfect with the ruler, but the space here, similar. This space and this space, this one is slightly bigger than this one because you have the vertical on top. So you have to allow some space, empty space here. But this space, similar to this space. And the 4 dots down here got to be even. That's how it make it organized and systematic and balanced. Okay, so once you know all these 5 rules, then you will know when you write down your homework, you say, oh, I'm not doing good, this one is not balanced. No, this one is not stand well. Once you know where you did wrong, then you already know how to improve yourself. The worst thing is, if you don't know where it's go wrong, and you will not able to improve. You just only copy whatever I said to you. Like I said, the first class, I don't believe I have a lot to teach you everything. The reason why I say that, because whatever I learned from my daddy, I learned from all the old rules that was created 1,000 years ago. What I'm doing is I pass along all this information and share with you. One thing I would like to share with you is how to lead you to think, and I lead you how to analyze, and I lead you how to know where your mistake by yourself. So you know your mistake, then you will say, Peter, I still don't know how to do it better. That's good, because those are the techniques I'm going to tell you. But if you don't even know how to tell the mistake is wrong, where you did wrong, the technique that you learn will not help you, because you just copy and you cannot tell yourself where's wrong. Okay? Okay, today I have the new class, a new topic. We talked last week, we talked about the dot. Today we talk about vertical stroke and a horizontal stroke, and a couple other kick stroke, similar to the dot. So the vertical and the horizontal is also another very important fundamental stroke of Lishu. So what I try to tell you, I have some homework on the table, and I will do some demonstration later on, and then everyone will learn from that. What I always do for the new joining members, I always will do and to demonstrate in front of you. So you will see how I do the movement. And then when you go home, you can do it yourself. But of course, I like to do it in the class, and then you can video, and you can take home and try to remember what I said in the class, and you can do it. Now, I prefer to do it vertical on the easel, because that way you can see all my movement, the brush to go. Now, let's talk about the horizontal stroke. The horizontal stroke is a very difficult one, because they come with like a curve with the silkworm head and the ducktail. How I say that? Now remember, this is draw a horizontal line and a vertical supporting. Now when I do this, I'm not going to talk, I do it first. Now the silkworm head start with lightly turn down, press down, and move up. I come back, and then I move from the left to the right. Bruce, I'm blocking you, so just move yourself if you need to do the video. I'm passing the center, and I keep moving. Once I pass the center, I start going downward, and then I press down and hold, and I slowly move upward and forming a ducktail. This is called a ducktail. Okay? This one ducktail, and this one is a silkworm head. Now, why I make a horizontal line and a vertical? I want you to see how this stroke balance. The balance point is the center. So you have half here. So call the balance left and right. Now, how to make the curve look good? You need to know when you start below the horizon and you move upward above the horizon, where and when you need to come down to the right end horizon. So that's how you see it. This is how the curve. This is called a smooth curve. If you don't have this concept in your mind, when you do without in the beginning, if you don't know how to do this, and you will do it in the beginning like I try to do it in a wrong way, then you will tell, hey, how come it's not smooth? Look, because it's not the center. If I do it this way, okay? But I come down already, so quick, up. This one less, this side should be. And then the horizon is not the same. The curve is not right, right? Judy, Sharon, Rosanna, Lunga. So before you do that, you need to know in your mind. I always tell people, you need to imagine. You look at the before I even myself. If I want to do something, write something on a piece of paper, I will look at the paper, and I try to picture how I want to finish my character on the piece of paper before I start. When I can picture and I can see my position of the first one, the second and the third, how they laid out, how high, how I want its position located, then I just say, okay, I can start. When I start, I don't have to think, because I already have the position in my mind, and I can picture, and I can do it. The same thing, when you do the stroke like this one, you need to know where the center line, where the horizon. Then when you do the movement, you will know, start from this end, come down here, curve, see, come down, see? I already know this is balance, this is balance. And the horizon, see? They all come down mid on, in, how can I say? In drawing, especially if you know how to draw structural building, they call the horizon line, and on both ends, they call the vanishing point. So if you have the center line, the horizon, then your vanishing point, you start from here, down here, you move up, meeting the center, you come down, meeting another vantage point, you go up. So this is a perfect leverage on each side. Okay? Now, this is the horizon. The vertical is simple. The vertical, basically, like the vertical dot I just started last week, you start with the top, you come down, move. So when I want to do this is number one, the horizon start, number one, in Chinese, one. So if I want to become another character, I call it 10. All I need to do is in the center, all I need to add a vertical stroke. This is already a 10. And then you can see the perfect here, all center. Normally the bottom, the leg should be longer than the head. So over here, we are not talking about should be even. So that's called the balancing, the supporting point. Now, I'm going to write another one over here. And I let you see the difference, how another word. This one I don't have to write. I need to put it on the easel as well. I think I have to get the flip chart here. Easy that way. I can flip. Now I make it a little bit more complicated. This one, I'm gonna using 1, 2, 3. I have 1, right? I did the 1 before. And I hope you will remember how I did the horizon dot. This is the 1. Now, the number 2, I hope everyone still remember the curve horizon dot. So number 2, you do it this way. The curve horizon stroke. Now you don't call the dot, you call the stroke because they are longer. Now, and then number 2, you're adding the number 1. In the old days, they really, 1 is 1 stroke, 2 is 2 stroke. Now you will see, I always able to make it balance on the left hand side, horizon. Left hand side, right hand side, all balanced. Then they look good, okay? Number 3, so 3 stroke. So now you have to make each stroke different, not always look the same, okay? So the first one is called curve horizon stroke. Move from left to right to back, okay? Now, this one is horizon stroke. Horizon stroke just same like horizon dot. So I have 2 different style of stroke. The last one is the big. Why the last one is always the longer, the bigger? Because like a triangle, the base, that they can stand by itself. See? So this one, the whole shape just like a triangle. It stands by itself. First, second, third. Now, if you look at the center, again, the space by itself, they are similar. Does that make sense? Okay? Now, we're talking about the vertical. Let's say 1, 2, 3, now we're talking about the 10 that I did that before. Okay, number 10. So again, same space, the horizontal, the same thing. Now I have another one add on top. This one. This one you have two ways of handling it too. You can have the curve curve horizon. Press down, move from left to right on a curve way, like this one, like this one. But then do the second one, second horizon stroke, the long one. Now this one, the vertical. This is the one way. This one in Chinese, 干,干部的干, mean work. Okay, Bruce? Now you have another way of doing this. You can do this. You don't want to use a curve horizon. You can have the standard horizon. No shape, no curve, very flat. But make sure they always are balanced on the left to the right, stuff like that. Now when I move from left to right, I slowly lift up my brush, and then I come down when almost by the end, and then I move up, and then I come down here, the center. So when you do it, you have to use your eyes to calibrate, to judge how to make it balanced, how to make it center to support the whole character. Okay? So all this is some homework that I put on your table. I want you to do at home. Now, two more work I want you to learn. One is down. Down is using only the stroke, the horizontal stroke, and the vertical. How to do that? Let's do the horizontal, the long one, horizontal stroke. Okay, I do it slow so you can see all the movement. Now, the center. Go center, right the center. Come down, straight. Now when you come almost to the bottom, you have to lift up and return. Make it round here. And the dot. This dot, you have learned it already. It's the right dot. But you put it a little bit on the angle. Okay, so this one is down character. Another one that in the homework that I'm gonna, for you, everyone to take home to do it, is 1000. Now 1000, one of the strokes that you already learned from last week, similar to what I just showed, the check dot. But this one is the angle different. The check dot that you are going to do will be pointing upward. You have learned the check dot like this way, just now, right? From bottom up like that. Now, the new one, the same way of doing it, but this one will be, the angle is different. This one, the angle is from the bottom up. Now, this one is from the top down. Top down, up like this way. And I should tell you how to do that. This is the word 1000, 1000的1000. Okay? Now, move upward. 1000本来楷书是这样写的嘛，对不对？ Now, then you move up. Then you have the long vertical. Now this one is a trick you have to know, because you want the center is on the tip of this stroke. So that means you have to start from a bit more to the center. Now, slowly curve down. Now, this one similar to this one, but just because this is the horizon, but this one is just a check. If you put this vertical in the center like this way, then it's the wrong character. Don't do it. You put it this way, it's wrong. Don't in the center, got to be here. Because you start from here. Okay? Any question? Any question? Hi, Julie.
What is that word? Chin?
一千就千，
Why is cut？我哋
呢個就個千啦。
唔係咁樣正常嗰個千。
有 very good question. Okay, Judy asked a very good question. Another way of doing the 1000 is not using this style, and I will tell you why. Very good, thank you, Judy.
Thank you.
Now, another style similar to the hand printing, but they're doing it. Let me see. Okay, I do it here. They can do it this way. This one they're using the similar of the left dot, but they are longer. They extend longer. Okay, they go like this way. They curve this way up, and then they go this way. Now, this one, if you do this stroke, I will explain to you later. You have another way. You can put it in the center, like this. Okay, you can put it this way. You can put it this way. But you make sure that the angle is right. It's not this. Okay. Now, this, like I said last time, there are hundreds of different style of Lishu. 有好多種唔同派別。We have 曹傳 we have 槍千碑 we have 禮器 we have 石門頌 we have 月英 thousands of thousands 猛龍碑 all kind of Lishu. And what the difference on each other? Basically, not a lot. I tell you why, where the difference. For example, using this one. This is a very old way in Lai He, Set Munjong. They're using a lot of weight, this one. In Zhang Qinbei, Chou Quan, you will see they're using this kind of stroke. Okay? So each style, they have a different preference. For example, 猛龍碑呢個石門頌，呢個辣刀 they are very short and sharp for the stroke. For example, some of them they go like this way down, and then they hold back down. They go very sharp like this. Let me do it in another paper. I want everyone to see. So that's why if you learn, if you read, if you practice many styles, then you will try to pick which one you think is good for your own style. Then you put together. And that is a more advanced. I will talk about that later. But last class, I did mention and touch a little bit of that. For example, let me give you some idea here. Now I'll give you the same movement of each style of the stroke. Now, let's show you. One more. The same stroke. How many stars that I just told you? 4 or 5 already. Do you see the difference? Okay. Which one you think you like the most? No preference. Very personal. Now, I will say, if you're writing a big word for the signage, something like that, I prefer to use something like this because it's strong and big guy. Like a 6 feet guy, 200 pounds, stand on a stage for singing. And me stand beside him. Who you will see? You will see the 6 feet guy, 200 pounds, but not Peter Lee, the short guy. That's why you have to see what environment, what kind of atmosphere you want to put. I cannot have Alice, skinny girl, you know, to stand on the stage, you can see her well. So this kind of style, a lot of women, female artists, they will like it. But something like that, some strong man or general, he will like something like that. 好像毛主席，他的字很有威风，他的字不是一个文人的字，他做的词也不是一个文人的词，所以这个就是每一个人的个性，好吗？ Now, let's touch base what I said last class. Like I said, when we beginning learning calligraphy, I treat myself like I'm a newborn baby. When I'm born, what I copycat is my parent. So my act, my movement, my smile will look like either my father or my mom. So that's the time that you study learning calligraphy. You pick on the right foundation. I'm not talking about the style. Like I born with my parent, I have no choice to pick who's my parent. I copy whatever she or they give it to me. If they give me a good thing, I learn all the good thing from them. If they give me a bad thing, I learn the bad thing. I have no choice. So when you're choosing a teacher, also very important. But how can you know how to choose a good teacher? I don't have the rules. I might say to you, I'm a good teacher, but you will be the judge. But what I try to say, after you learn all the basic foundation from the teacher or from your parent, slowly you go to the school, in kindergarten, in June, in a grade 9, grade 8. Slowly, you have a couple classmates or your teacher is your idol. You like them very well. Or like one time I liked one of my female teachers. I copy her. I do a lot of things I like her. Like Liu Dehua, 她是很多人的偶像，你就学她。慢慢 slowly, you like the idol, you collect, you copy those movements. You have another element into your body. So now you are not only liking your parent, you look like someone else. When you go to work, you learn a lot from your boss. If one of your boss is your idol, he is or her is your hero, your idol, your model, you love it. You learn even the work, how to handle the work at work, at office. Slowly, you're changing. Now, you are changing another way, education, by experience, by study. So now, after 40, 60, 50 years, or whatever, now you absorb, you digest everything into your body. Now you don't have a lot look like your daddy anymore. Or you don't have a lot to look like Andy Lau, Liu Dehua anymore. Because why? Because you absorb, you digest, you put everything into you. Now whatever you act is your real you. Right? So that's how I say it. Once you learn from me for once a while, and I say, hey, you ready to move on upper level? I will asking you, I give you a lot of different style of Lishu. Pick one of the style that you like. For example, oh, you say, Peter, I like this style. No, Alice, you like this style. You say, Alice, you're so skinny, but you like this style. But you say, I like it. But you can do better. When you like it, you can do better. Slowly, you learn that. But you are not stopped. You still go read more other style. Because from each one, like we said, 3人行必有我师. Slowly, You learn a little from here and there, you're more educated. Slowly, whoever have the deepest education, whoever absorb, learn a lot from the book, that person can last long. That means your calligraphy can last longer than anyone. So all I'm asking, whatever I'm passing the skill to you, it's not me teaching you, it's transfer the old day. But I want to lead you to think, to learn, to how to analyze. Once you know how to do that, you don't need me. Even I expect you to do one day better than me, because you can think. But if you don't just copy me, 100 years later, you still do exactly the same style like me, which is I don't want to. Okay? So let me, we still have half an hour. Let me do one sample for you, and then I want you to do some work at the class, and I can look, I can watch. Okay? I'm going to do the first stroke. Now, I personally, I don't like this kind of design of the paper. The reason is they don't have 嗰個米字. Okay, the different, this one and the other one they have also the square like this, but they have something like this. Okay, the reason is you have the vertical, you have the horizon, easy for you to judge. Okay, now let me do. I don't. In the old days, they say your brush got to be pointed to your nose. I say this line. I don't like that. I move a little bit to the left because my vision can see it on the angle. Then I will not. But you don't do it this way. You have to straight. Okay. Now, small character. You can hold your pen with the arm like this. But if you do a word big, I prefer you to practice home. Stand up like I did. If you stand up all the time, you can do it like me. You can go like this. Okay? You can go, and then you have no problem. But if you don't do that, then you will never, your hand will shaking. But I'm doing here, a small word is fine, but not the big one. Now, if you have too much of ink on your brush, you like to have a piece of paper or towel here, so make sure that they are not over wet. Now, I imagine myself, I know the horizon here, the vertical here, so I can start here. I start, okay, bye-bye, bye-bye. I come down first, and then I move up. I press down, I move up a little bit, and I move. When I move, I slowly lift, right? When I come past the center, I press down and I move up. Okay? Now, this is the horizon. The vertical, I do again. If I want to start from the top down, I have to from the bottom up first. I tell you why later. Now up, and then I come down. Now I move a little bit, and I come down, straight, up. Because you have to do it this way. Come back down, because you want a round head. Come down. Now, you want to have round bottom, you go back up. They're all round. Okay? Now, the curve horizon. Oh, 好啊，唔該你，多謝 ，thank you, thank you. I better use a bigger pen because this is too small. I try not to using a small pen, a brush, to do the big word. 細筆寫大字係 bad habit. 大筆寫細字 you using the tip is good. Okay, let me do it again. You will see this one is so weak. With the big pen, big brush, it's much stronger. Go down. Okay, now vertical, come up, down. Now try you can stop here a little bit, move the brush, make sure all the brush, the feather follow you. You control them. Come down, lift up, turn. Okay? Now, we're talking about the horizon curve stroke. Lightly press down, lift up, lay all the feather the way how you want. You see, I turn the direction from the left to the right, and I lift and I move. While I'm moving, I lift and I come up a little bit, return. So that way, you don't, like you're driving a car. You keep moving, but you don't stop on your brake, which is no good. So that's why always when you finish it here, you always like a little bit, like the momentum. Very good question. He very monitor and very detailed. Small character, you can use only finger. Bigger, then you use the wrist. When it's even bigger, you use the forearm. But when I do it like something like that, I stand up, I move the whole body.
Yeah.
I go like this, like dancing. Honestly, because you can follow the flow. But if I want to do something, the whole big piece like that, but the word about this big, I prefer to stand. Why? Because when I stand up, I can see the whole space where I want to go. If you sit down here, you only vision this, even though you go this way, but it's not accurate. Okay? Now this is a curved horizon. Then I have the just standard regular horizon. Again, from the right to the left, and then lift up, come back down, move. This one I don't lift up a lot when I move because I want it evenly. Okay? If you lift up, press, lift, press, you will see the difference. Like I press down, I move up, I come back. Now I lift up, it was getting smaller. I press down, bigger. So the three movements you need to know. One, press down. One is lift and move. So how to make your character look good is depend on how hard you press down, how much you lift up, and how fast you want to move. If you don't know how to control that, then no good. For example, a lot of people put this one. They can go like this. Now this is wrong. Why? Because when they press down too hard and they go out and point it, that means they cannot control it well. If you go it this way and then you lift up, you have a little bit. Now this one also no good. You can see the hair, I cannot control it. The hair just move by itself. You need to know how to, for example, I go like this. Now, this one is good. Then, because you see, gradually from heavy, slowly down to the point. You are not just sudden drop like that. That's no good. Now, I try to do it one more stroke. This one is the, who was asking me, I think Judy asking me. Now, this one is from the top up. Slowly pointed, heavy press down, and when you press down, then you move to the upper right. Now this one is different. They all pointed. Without pointed, it's no good. But you pointed, you got to, again, you have to hold back a little bit. Now I start doing the movement. 麻煩幫我攞一張紙，剪一剪住，唔使呢個頭髮。係要污到我啲衫。Now we still have half an hour. I want everyone to do something in front of me for me to see, okay? Now I'm doing the number 10. The one press the vertical. See, I press down first, and then I lift up a little bit, and then I move. Now come past the center, then I move, I press down, I lift up, come back, then I right in the center. Move up, now down. Okay? Now, this one is the horizontal curve. The curve horizontal. Now, I move my hair, not my hair, the brush up. Now, again, come down, you press up, you move, make sure your hair, the brush, everything follow you before you go any further. Come down. Up. Now, a rule of thumb, you can change the direction while your brush is on the paper until you satisfy you move. But when you finish, you don't go back to correct this and correct that. It will look terrible. People can see. You thought the people cannot see, but for people they are specialized in that, they can tell that you make correction. The worst thing that one time I see one of the exhibition, one of the art pieces, they did something wrong over here. What they use liquid paper, try to cover here and cover here. That's the terrible. Don't do that, okay? Now, another horizon for the same work, different style. You see, I am pushing the brush. I'm not pulling the brush. When I do this way, this is called pulling. But when I finish that, I go this way. This is called pushing. Because I go this way, but I'm not going this way. The difference, you will not, if I don't say that, you will not know. Now, you see the top of my brush, I point this way, that means I push. Now, if I go this way, this one, that way, mean you pull. Make sure you're pushing. When you're pushing, the reason you're pushing, this is the physics. You see, if you're pushing, where to support your brush? All the hair in the center, but the belly here, they have a curve, and when they curve, they all consolidate together. So they're harder, they're strong. Then you can control how the stroke goes. But if you go this way, no supporting. Make sense? Okay. Now this next one is the 1000 chin. Slowly down, up. Now I can do one as well, so that means you will not confuse. You can do this one as well. Now, if you do this one, then you can. This one is similar, but this one on this side. Make sure that you don't confuse. Okay.
Are they the same work?
呢個都係千，呢個都係千。
中間嗰度。
呢個係個幹部，呢個係個幹。哦。干涉個干。干涉個干。千，係啦。呢個係個下。落。 blocking me. Now, over here, this is not right. I can tell you, even though I do it not right. The perfect way is round here. Now, I tell you why. In Lishu, okay, they can be square outside. For example, let me give you out the sun. For example, the sun. You see, the outside can have an angle, but the inside got to be round. So that's why I say this one I did it wrong. Not very good, not wrong. Why? Because you see all the joining part, simple. Now I should press down a little bit before I move it. Now, this one better. Why? Because over here, round. But here was sharp. So that means I did not press down enough. Okay, now. So a lot of people, they do a little bit trick over here. How to do the trick, I tell you. When they go down here, up, they go to the center, they make down a little bit. When you do it, they're already round. Okay? But that way, it's not a perfect way. Because if you do something like that, if there's some accident, you cannot fix it. But there are some trick doing that.